Hey, there's something's kind of an incredible coincidence. I was telling you all about how the Lord was showing me scripturally, piece by piece, back when I was writing my book, that Jerusalem, the ancient monarchy of Israel, Judah, and all of the sons and daughters of Zion, or, Judah and Israel, are Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots. And the reason why it says mother is because Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Well, it's really ironic that this is in the news. This is in Art News, and it's by Angelica Villa. And it came out yesterday, January 29th of 2024. And this is so ironic, I think, that Mystery Babylon will be having a one-world government with their king as the one-world leader, the Antichrist, and the Sanhedrin will be the world's Supreme Court and the world's judges, replacing the United Nations. This is what they intend and have been setting up for quite some time. But ironically, Iran calls for halt of British Museum's planned loan of 2,600-year-old Babylonian artifact to Jerusalem. Iranian officials are calling to halt the planned transfer of a significant Babylonian artifact from the British Museum to Jerusalem. Interesting that King Charles III is in Britain, the King of Britain and the UK, and this artifact is there at the British Museum, but they want to send it to Jerusalem, raising concern that relocating the 6th century artifact to the city amid the ongoing Israel-Gaza war poses risk to it. The artifact, a fragment of a 2,600-year-old object from the ancient Babylonian territory, now modern-day Iraq, bears an inscription in cuneiform in its clay surface. It's considered a key document of one of the first establishments of Persian rule and a record of the Persian King Cyrus's edict allowing formerly enslaved people to return to their countries. Now, isn't that interesting that they compared Donald Trump to Cyrus, and it was Cyrus that allowed the Jews to go back to rebuild the temple? In letters, Hadi Mirzai, Iran's Director General of the General Office of Museums, raised concerns about the planned transfer to the National Library of Israel in Jerusalem, arranged tentatively to take place in October. In letters, Hadi Mirzai, Iran's Director General of the General Office of Museums, raised concerns about the planned transfer to the National Library of Israel in Jerusalem, arranged tentatively to take place in October. Mirzai addressed the dispute in separate correspondences with Amir Hossein Garbnejad, the Vice President for Cultural Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ali Akbar Motakhan, the Secretary General of the National Commission for UNESCO Iran, the Tehran Times reported in mid-January. Mirzai stated in a letter published by Iranian news agency Mehr that the pending transfer of the cylinder will undoubtedly be inappropriate due to potential risks associated with it. The British Museum, in a statement to the Art newspaper, said that the cylinder, currently on loan in the United States at Yale's Peabody Museum, will be announced in due course. A representative for the British Museum did not immediately respond to Art News's request for comment, and controversy surrounding the British Museum's loaning of the artifact has persisted for more than a decade. In 2010, when the British Museum loaned it to the National Museum of Iran in Tehran, Iranian officials criticized the temporary nature of the agreement, arguing that the cylinder's excavation in 1879 from its original location in Iraq justified Tehran's request for the object to be shown for a longer period in the Middle East. Historians consider the artifact a key document to the region. In 2013, it was part of the traveling exhibition called The Cyrus Cylinder and Ancient Persia, Charting a New Empire at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. A year earlier, in an interview with The Economist, former British Museum director Neil MacGregor described the fragment as one of the first documents to reflect a state's consideration of how to govern diversity. In their letter, Iranian officials underscored the cylinder's ties to the region. The Culture Ministry based their opposition to the potential transfer of the object to Jerusalem on the 1945 Hague Convention, a standard meant to allow governments to safeguard objects with national roots, especially in areas undergoing armed conflict. So isn't that interesting that they want to transfer the Cyrus Cylinder from the British Museum to Jerusalem, and the Persians don't want it to go there? So that's really incredible. I just think it's really a stunning artifact to be brought back to Jerusalem, to Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots, at the time when they have Donald Trump's face on the half-shekel saying, build me a house, or something about God has commissioned you to build me a house on the coin. And, you know, his face is parallel with Cyrus's face. So this is incredible timing. The Cyrus Cylinder, Achaemenid, 539 to 538 BC, excavated at Babylon, Iraq in 1879, on display at the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Department of Ancient Near Eastern Art. And they show an image of the Cyrus Cylinder. So it was in the ancient language there, which allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. What timing when they are getting ready to do the red heifer ceremony that allows them to rebuild the temple. So these are prophetic times, and this is really an incredible story in art news that came out just yesterday on January 29th of 2024. Just wanted to bring this to your attention, and I'll see you in the next video, in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good evening.